The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young on this second week of March day in Easton. I've actually done this is my second show today. I usually do one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, but today they had something going on in my other location, so yesterday they did, so I did my usual Wednesday show there today, so I'm on my second show, and it's going to be another great guest as usual. But before we get to her, I got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence as usual. So, we got Tom Auto in Middleborough, we got New England Floorscapes in Middleborough, we got C&J Mini Mart in Brockton, they're a new one, we got Comfort Upholstery in East Bridgewater, we got Lynch's Towing Auto Cycle and Truck Center in Brockton, one number for towing, one number for projects. My pal Lynchy there in Brockton's always looking for new scrap metal wheels, anything to do with transportation he can handle, and junk and whatever. We got Autotown Auto Glass and Auto Body in Abington. We got the Barber Shop in Whitman. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got C&J Auto Body, Auto Glass Towing in Stoughton. We got As the Fur Flies Pro Dog Grooming in Plainville. We got Uplifted Nutrition in Taunton, makers of great shakes and morsels. And we got Gregory Scott Jewelers in Middleborough. We got One Good Credit in Brockton. We got 111 Tattoo Collective in Brockton at their new location. We got the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We got Easton Fitness and the Village Shops here in Northeastern. We got RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. And we got Joe's Diner in Taunton. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now, on that note, I'll introduce this lovely young lady, Tatiana Zakirova. Is that how you say it?
Perfect.
Beautiful. She's a newly licensed realtor from Russia originally. I love interviewing people from other parts of the world because that's what the world is. Plenty, a big makeup of cultural diversity and wonderful differences, customs and whatnot. And today she's here with me. So, Tatiana, thank you for coming in here and doing my show. And I know you didn't have to travel too far like some guests do, but you still have to make the effort, and I do appreciate that.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you very much that you noticed me and invite for your show, and especially it's local, and I'm all about support local people, and you are local and you making shows locally.
That's right.
Yes, and so many are on your list, and I support all of them.
Okay, you're local too now.
Yes, I'm actually local. I'm 15 minutes away from here, and isn't it just my neighbor?
That's right, exactly,
Yes.
2 towns away.
Yes, very close. And what is today interview? We just talked, and I would like to interview Harrison, but he refused.
No, I didn't refuse. Oh, you want to interview me? Well, I mean, Topic Time is it's a back and forth discussion, so feel free to ask me any questions you want to ask me. That's fine. I'm down with that. But what I like to do with every person that I interview is, just have an informal back and forth, like we just said, and find out what they were like and how they got where they're at, because everybody sort of has a path in life that they're taking. And the first thing I thought when I saw you was that you might have been a model.
Oh, yes, first you thought that, but
no,
I just support some people if they ask me to take pictures. Yes, I do that. Yes,
okay.
But as a profession, no, I wasn't as a model. I wish.
Well, I think you'd be okay. I think you could pull it off, but that's up to you to try. If you want to do it, then you get a lot of living to do, and I'm sure you could attempt it, and I think you'd do well. But let's talk about, you as a young girl, you grew up you were born in Russia, and
yes, correct. Actually, I'm born in Russia, in almost Siberia, but it's actually South Ural, in the middle of the country of Russia, and I've been there almost all my life. And here in the United States, I'm just 17 years. I came here to United States 17 years ago, and back then, I had zero English.
Okay.
And right now,
it's pretty good now.
at least I can speak.
You
Yeah.
speak it well.
I have some funny story. When
Go
I
ahead, tell
came,
a funny story. Let's hear it.
yes, when I came to United States and didn't understand English, and one day I went to grocery store and got milk. And when I started to pay, and cashier said me, "Do you want me to put milk in a plastic bag?" And I look at him, what the hell she's talking about? I
Okay.
even couldn't understand that.
Okay.
But right now it's pretty good. I understand and actually moved from zero where I am
If
right
she'd
now.
asked you for paper, would you have understood that?
No.
Or if you wanted, or if she asked if you wanted paper. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you obviously, I mean, you adapted to the new environment. So now, but just so you know, I have half of my ancestry is Russian too.
Oh,
On my
see,
father's
it's like,
side.
oh, now we know that we
And so
are.
yeah, we might be related. Now I have a funny story too, if you want to. So
Yes.
well, the thing is now, they say back in the 19th century, a lot of the immigrants came to the United States to find gold in the streets and better opportunity
Yes.
from the old country. Well, I actually had a great grandfather who came not to the United States from Russia, not to find gold in the streets, but to get away from his mother, who was constantly pushing the Jewish religion on him, and he couldn't stand it, so he couldn't take it anymore. So he left Russia just to get away from her. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that just happened to be in a situation in my family. And that's and as a result of most of the people on my father's side of the family did not practice the religion, even though my mother's side sort of did, and I really didn't. I'm proud to be one, but I don't practice it. But I'm happy that that I have that in my history. I think it's pretty cool.
Yes, it's really cool. It's a long way to escape from mother. From Russia into United States.
It's just sort of a funny story that that I like telling people. So I figured we could share an anecdote like yours and mine. All right. Now, so what was the reason for coming to the United States for you?
I think it's curiosity because when I was living in Russia was closed country, and we wasn't allowed to travel at all. It's some people who had maybe some job overseas, they could travel. And when Russia finally become open and we could travel, it's very interesting to go and see. And of course, United States, it's always was on the top of the list. What is there?
Absolutely.
Yes, and this is the reason why I came. And it was nice, and I fell in love with the country. And right now, it's my home.
It is. Excuse me. So yes, but my question to you: did you come here on vacation and then decide to stay, or did you? I mean. Or did you think you'd go back when you got here?
No, when I came, I didn't think about that. I will go back.
Oh, okay.
It's.
So you did plan to relocate. It wasn't like. It wasn't like.
No, it wasn't like that. Oh yeah, I will go there and I definitely will stay. No, but when I came, I saw country and I fell in love, and especially.
You found gold in the streets.
Yes.
So to speak. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody who came, they always found gold on the street.
Right. Well, that was the idea.
They kind of forget that you have to work hard for that.
But I have a hunch you do that, right? You do work hard.
Yes. I think all immigrants who came to United States, I believe, all hard workers.
Okay. And now you're a realtor. Were you just newly licensed?
I got my license in June
last
year, but still to get in this career, especially right now with the market a little bit slow, it's not easy, but I love my job because actually I have my background degree from Russia. I'm a civil engineer, and I work for construction companies all my life.
I can see you wearing a hard hat somehow. Definitely. Okay.
Yes, and when I came to United States, not knowing English, and all of us need job, and actually I started my career from CNA in nursing home.
Okay.
And then I got my LPN degree, and I was working as a nurse. And after that, I moved to Delaware, and I worked for some development company, and I will work as a consult. And I work with the architects, with the floor plans.
Wow.
And I loved that job. And when I came back to Massachusetts, it wasn't no question what kind of job I will choose because it's my passion. I love decoration. I love floor plans. I love homes. I love houses. And I thought, yes, I will go to real estate. And when I got my license as a real estate and I started to get into this career, I thought, like, what the hell? Why nobody told me initially that why you not go to this job like and not finish? And I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Yes, working with the people, try to understand them. It's really what I'm doing. It's what I want to do.
That's great. And
Yes.
And you got and you. Why did you come to Mass? You went to Delaware first.
No, I came to Massachusetts
Okay.
first, and I was living here
Yeah.
until 11, and then I moved to Delaware, and I was living in Delaware 8 years.
Okay.
And,
Well, what was the reason for moving there?
We're going to personal questions.
Well, if you don't want, okay, if that's personal, I'm just okay. All right. Well, if it's personal, then don't answer. You don't have to answer it. I didn't mean to pry. I was just because I was thinking.
Life is moving,
Yeah.
and we never stay. It's like, okay, we are here and we're going there, and it happens this way that I'm in my life kind of moving all the time.
Yeah.
Even being in Russia,
Yeah.
I never stay in at the same place.
Right.
I kind of move from one city to another.
You're
one.
nomadic.
It's curiosity.
Oh, okay. You just like to move. All right.
Yes,
that's
curiosity.
Right. You just like to move around. I get it.
And plus, you kind of develop yourself in life,
Right.
and you go and discover something, and you think about that. Oh, okay, I go in there, and I will be more up step and develop myself.
There you go. Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, it's fun to move around. I guess some people can live a routine, year after year, stay in one location year after year, and others just have to keep moving. I mean, that's just the way we're all different like that, and that makes the spice of life even spicier.
Yes, and of course, right now I have a question. Did you move a lot?
Here's the thing: I was born in the United States, and I did move a lot because my father was in the Army down in North Carolina, which is down south. You know that. You probably know the United States geography pretty well. So I was born there, and I spent the first couple of months of my life there. Then we came up here to Massachusetts, and we moved around a lot then because my parents were still in college. And so during the winters, we lived in Cambridge because my father was a Harvard Business School student. My mother was a Lesley student, which is their sister school. Then during the summers, we stayed with my grandparents. So for the first 3 years of my life, until we found our first house, I did a lot of moving. I lived in probably like 6 different locations. Well, back and forth from at least 3 different locations, and then maybe a couple other ones too. But then I spent the next 16 years living at the house I grew up in, and then in 1970, that was from 1962 to 79. Then in 79, my parents moved, and they still to this day living at that same house. I moved in with them, and then I moved in with my grandfather at the same house I lived in as a baby, and then I ended up inheriting the house. So it was kind of like it's been like an epic journey for me, you could say.
Yes, it's a lot of history.
And then 15 years ago, I moved to my current address from my grandfather's house, and that's where I've been ever since. So yeah, I've done some moving, but
Yes.
not like you have. You're like a nomad. I really wasn't. I was just moving, for reasons like. I didn't really move that far. I moved, the places I moved it was more like back and forth. And then once I get back to Brockton, which is, once I settled in Brockton as a 3-year-old in 1962, I've been there ever since. Brockton is next door. You know that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And that's where that's probably where I'll always live. I don't know. I don't know. Look, the life is amazing the way it takes its turns for us. You never know where you're going to end up on any given day or in any situation where something happens where you got to relocate or want to relocate for whatever reason. And depending on what it's all about, that will depend on how far away you have to relocate if you're going to relocate. So right now I'm here doing the show. I have my home in Brockton. I'm perfectly happy there, and it's convenient for me. The weather's been great lately. I love the global warming. I hope it keeps going because I hate snow, and I love the way the winter's been here this past year, and I hope the winters stay mild. And so that's it. So
Probably next move will be to Florida.
no, I don't think, not necessarily. I mean, here's the thing. I would go to Florida. I've never been to Florida. That's one state I've not been to. I had a chance to go in 1980. My grandfather was down there on vacation with his sister, my great aunt. I could have gone with him because at that time I was working for a company that had branches all over the country, and they had a branch down there, and I could have worked down there, but I wouldn't have made as much money as if I had stayed up here. I probably should have gone anyway just to see it, but there's plenty of time. I mean, I feel like I still have another 40, 50 years of life left, and so if what I'm hoping is that doing the show enough, maybe people will want me to travel to to the States and do shows with them. I have done shows on the road. I don't do them anymore because of Zoom. I did a Zoom show today to Rhode Island. We've actually gone to all the parts of the world on Zoom too. We just did a show to. Like I said, I got a guy from Africa that wants to do the show. We did a show to Australia a couple of years ago. Not at this location, from one of my other locations.
Have you ever did show from Russia?
I've not done a show to Russia, but we could.
Yes, if we will find somebody, we probably.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I actually have I have a Facebook friend in Russia too. So she's been a Facebook friend for many years, and we might be able to get her on as a guest if possible. I don't know how much interaction is going on between the people in Russia and our country now, considering what's happening in Ukraine, unfortunately. But that would definitely be an interesting.
Through Zoom, it's perfectly fine.
Oh, it is.
I
Okay.
have my family in Russia, and I'm in contact with
Control
them.
with them. You're in contact with them all the time.
Yes,
Oh, good.
all the
Okay.
time, yes.
Do you ever go back to visit them?
Last time in 19, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I'm planning to go this summer.
You go back,
yes,
yeah.
Yes. And I have a question, Harrison.
Sure.
When you got this idea, I will start to do this show.
Yeah.
When?
When did I get it?
Yeah, when did you get this idea?
Sure, I'll tell you. So back in 2009, I've always, I have 2 degrees in communications from college that I got in the 1980s. And then I ended up wrote a couple of books, and I did pretty well with that. Not as well as I was as I had hoped to do, but I did okay selling them. So me and a friend and my friend and myself in 2004 were talking about doing a radio show together. A friend that I sold the book to. He never ended up, he just sort of disappeared, not disappeared, but I don't know, whatever, I'm not sure what happened to him. I ended up pursuing it though, and I started doing some work over at one of the local radio stations in the town of Marshfield. Then I picked it up a little bit, and I ended up I started doing poetry for the station. I did poems every week. Then I ended up working on their Sunday afternoon sports talk show. The guy that ran that sports talk show had a friend that turned out to have his own TV sports talk show at the TV station right around the corner in Marshfield. When he and I talked, he thought I was pretty smart about sports, so he invited me on as his co-host. And I certainly jumped at the chance. But on the night that I was supposed to start, he called in and said, "Host the show yourself. I can't make it." And I said, "How am I going to do that? How am I going to host it myself?" He goes, "You can handle it." And I did. I handled it pretty well. I talked an hour, and I took a few calls. And then for the next year, I debated with myself whether I could start my own show. Then finally, I just decided to just go for it. They told me at that same TV station that they had an opening on Wednesday nights at 5 o'clock. So on August 18th of 2010, I went in and I did my first show. I left his show a year earlier. He was a good guy, but he was kind of temperamental, and he sort of threw me off his staff because I did something he didn't like without meaning to. I covered a baseball doubleheader that he thought was going over his head because he wasn't there, and he got mad about it. But we still remained friends. The ironic thing is that the TV station there only had one phone line, and we were going live then, and we could take calls from people calling in to talk to me. So I didn't have guests yet, but he called in that first night. But the thing is, he didn't know I'd started a show. They had one phone number for all 3 departments, for the control room, the studio, and the office. He was calling the boss, and the phone rang in the control room when I was doing the show. And I go, "Joe, you're not going to believe it. I just started my own TV show tonight, and you're on it with me." So we had a 20-minute chat. And so from then on, he helped me out with some of my shows. And then 4 years later, I moved to my second location. And then 3 years after that, I moved to my third location. And then a year after that, I moved here into one of my other locations. And then I added on a couple more locations. And that's how it's been going.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And how many years already?
Well, I started at August 18th, 2010. This is 2023. So now we're more than 12 and a half years in.
And you still keep going.
Oh, I still keep going. Yeah.
Yes,
It just
yes.
keeps getting. And not only that, last year, unbeknownst to me until it happened, was I was profiled on this on a podcast show in New York by a guy, because a guy that I had on my show loves my show. He sent some clips of my show to these people in New York. They profiled me, and now I got like thousands of more followers. And I didn't even know that. I didn't know he was going to do that.
Wow, it's great. It's great.
6 months ago, I didn't even know that was going to happen. So who knows what's going to happen 6 months from now? So,
yes, this is what I'm hoping, that I'm start like my real estate career, and maybe in 12 years I will grow up like you.
Well, you're doing well. Let's talk about your career. Now you're a realtor. So what do you basically sell? I mean, you sell homes all over. I'm guessing Metro West and the South Shore and.
Actually, what happens that when I got my real estate license, what we do usually, we try to find job.
Okay.
Where we will find job.
Yep.
And I contact to Catherine Basic, and it's a great person, and she has a company.
Okay.
She has a company, Basic Forbes Global Properties, and I went for an interview, and we talk, and this company brokered by Realtor, great big company.
Okay.
And she hired me. We just hit very well, and we working as a team. We are in a luxury real estate, but at the same time we sell any houses. It doesn't matter. Right now it's market very tough, and just before I came here I deliberately look Eastern, and I noticed that it's only 13 houses on the market. How people can live with that, because people need buy houses, people need sell houses, but right now it's difficult, and people just afraid of high rate.
Okay.
This is my career.
It is. So I guess you've been successful since you got your license. So anyway, right?
Our team is successful.
Okay, your team.
Yes.
Okay. So how big is the team? How many people in there?
It's very small team, but
Yeah.
we are growing up.
Okay.
We opened its second office in Weston.
Okay.
So
where's the first
just
office?
remember, first in Wellesley.
Wellesley and Weston. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Just remember and check our website. For example, like my website is tatianazakirova.com.
Okay.
Go and check.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Okay.
and you definitely will find something that you will love it.
These are all private homes, no commercial property, or you do both?
We can sell commercial properties,
Okay.
yeah, but we don't have a listing for commercial properties.
Okay.
And by the way, that Basic Forbes Global Properties, it's only company who works with Forbes Global Properties.
Okay.
In Massachusetts, yes.
Oh, good. Okay. That's great. If you have offices in those towns, you must be doing okay. Those are nice towns, as you know.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, but now you live in.
Do you want to change your house? I can help you.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I've been in my house for 15 years, and I
15 years.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I'm sort of happy. I'm happy there. If I ever move from my house, it might be into an assisted living place, but I don't know. I mean, I don't want to do that. I'd rather not have to do that. So, but there are always properties. I see signs going up for sale around my neighborhood. If you ever check out Brockton for sale for homes and stuff to sell.
Yes. I like what you said. I'm happy. And previously when you talk about your life, you said happy. And do you remember when you invited me to your show?
Yep.
And you said how you would like to be presented. And I said, what about being good human being? And you said, okay. And,
oh yeah.
I see that life, it's about being a good human being, and this is important for me and for my life. And doesn't matter what you do in life, be happy and be good.
Well, that's very inspirational. And on that note, we're on the 5 minutes now.
Oh, we 5 minutes?
Yeah, so we made it go by. I figured we would. I knew you'd be a great guest, and you have been. So what I'd like you to do is look at the camera and give shouts out to a few people, like family members, people at your company if you want, even people in Russia, because they're going to see the show. Once we get it up on YouTube, they'll definitely get to see it.
I have ideas that I will not give any hi to my family. I would like to give hi and say hello to everyone who is watching right now, and just invite to look my website. And if you need any help, definitely call. And if you're a buyer, don't be afraid to call too, because sometimes you're thinking about that you will save money or you will do by yourself, but let professionals do their job.
That's great. Okay. Well, now, is there anything in your life coming up in the next few months or weeks that you want to mention real quick that you think would be worth mentioning? If not, then we'll just wrap the show up.
Just show up because I don't
don't
know
have
where
anything
I
else?
will
All right.
end it next day. Always something new.
Okay. Now, if you had a good time with me, I hope you did.
Yes, I had great time with you, and thank you very much again for inviting me
Okay.
to your show. And I'm glad that I was able to question you, and you told some stories about yourself.
Okay, and what I'd like you to do, if you had a good time with me, is if you have any friends or people that you know that might be interesting guests, send them my way. You got my digits now. Have them call me, text me. Once they see the show, hopefully they'll want to do it anyway. But you put in a good word, and then between that and then the show itself, we should get hopefully more people, and that's it.
Yes, let's support local.
That's absolutely right. All right, Tatiana. So on that note, are you ready to wrap the show up the way we began it with the tune?
Yes.
Okay, folks, we're snapping it off. See you next time. Signing off. Over and out. Okay.